Having been in ministry for 28 years and in the office as the Missions Director of Evangelical Missionary Society, EMS, of Evangelical Church Winning All, ECWA, and later as President of ECWA, a period spanning 15 years, and also being the current Vice President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has convinced me of two greatest needs of the Nigerian Christendom and the Church Universal. The first and greatest need of the Church is for revival and discipleship. It is only when the Church is repositioned to blaze forth spiritually that it can effectively reach out to a lost and dying world for the salvation of souls and discipleship. Prayer for revival and re-evangelization of our churches is urgently and desperately needed, and that is the topmost priority of Christ Manifested Ministry, CMM. As we labor for revival, we can be confident that the gracious and merciful Lord would bring His promise to pass that, if my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14. The second need of the Christendom, which is the twin topmost priority of CMM, is the care for increasing number of widows, orphans, vulnerable children, persecuted Christians, and the disadvantaged communities generally. James 1 verse 27 says, "Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world." Towards this end, the CMM is establishing a CMM Empowerment Center, CEC, that will be used to empower people spiritually, physically, economically, and all facets of life. Praise the Lord. With the support of our CMM partners, we have successfully purchased 5 hectares of land at New Karu, Nasarawa State, Nigeria, for building the CMM Empowerment Center, CEM, for widows, orphans, and underprivileged persons. The CEC will comprise, among other facilities, spiritual retreat and discipleship sector, a refuge home for persecuted Christians and vulnerable children, a memorial school and skill acquisition center for orphans, widows, vulnerable children, and persecuted Christians. After analysis of the asset and needs assessment of the widows which we did, we came to a conclusion that most of the widows who are still young and strong and mostly need working capital to boost their petty businesses. We decided to give all in this category a sum of 50,000 naira grant to help them boost their working capital for their petty businesses for now. There are about 47 widows in this category, with about 9 special cases being given 100,000 naira instead of 50,000 naira. We realize that many of them will need more than that, and in that case, they will have to apply for soft loan. If the loan is approved, they will undergo a booth camp to be trained on how they can be improved on running their businesses and, above all, the need for faithfulness before the loans can be dispersed to them. The revolving loan scheme will help us extend help to more people. Secondly, that there are widows that are very advanced, most of them far above 70 years in age, and so cannot really engage in income-generating activities. The oldest in this category is up to 93 years. In line with biblical injunction, such widows have been placed on our quarterly grant list of 30,000 naira. This means every quarter, they will be given cash grants to help with their upkeep. If any of them still wants and is able to invest the sum in any income-generating venture, they would be very free to do so. There are 19 widows in this category. A total of 68 widows benefited from the empowerment or welfare. Out of these are 13 ECWA spiritual mothers in ministry, ECWA pastors' wives, that are widows, ESMMs. The total disbursement during this outreach amounted to 3,480,000 naira only. We have also additionally made a definite commitment for widows 70 years and above of 1,140,000 naira between now and the year end, making a total of 4,620,000 naira. The above does not include any soft loans we may give before the year runs out. It's a faith project. I wish to state that this is a faith project. It is not like we have so much fun seeding somewhere. This money is coming from our own resources and contribution of family, friends, and ministry supporters. Therefore, we please urge you to earnestly pray for God to bless us and ministry supporters more, and to open more doorways for us to get resources for his kingdom's work. Our maiden outreach to widows, orphans, persecuted Christians, and the underprivileged persons is just the beginning and started with just a few out of the most critical cases from our immediate New Kuru community, Nasarawa State, Nigeria. The need nationwide is overwhelming. According to a 2024 report by UNICEF, Nigeria has over 21 million orphans and vulnerable children living in poverty, loneliness, and uncertainty against the global figures put at over 158 million. Nigeria is one of the top 3 countries in the world with the most orphans. About 13.5% of households in Nigeria have children being raised without a parent. Persons with disability, PWDs, older persons, OPS, and those who live on less than $1 per day in line with international standards are more vulnerable. According to the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, NASCO, more than 62 million poor individuals and over 15 million households are vulnerable in Nigeria, with the Middle Belt and northern regions of Nigeria having the highest prevalence due to insurgency and ethno-religious conflicts. Most of these orphaned and vulnerable children are engaged in child labor, trafficking, early marriage, and unable to pursue their education. Addressing the needs of these widows, orphans, and vulnerable children and mitigating negative outcomes of the growing vulnerable population in Nigeria is a top priority of Christ Manifested Ministry. You can be part of advancing this noble cause by partnering with CMIM through prayer, offering your skills and services, and by making financial contributions. You can send your donations to account name, Christ Manifested Ministry. Zenith Bank Naira 122-951-2505. Zenith Bank Dollars Domiciliary 507-469-0430. Zenith Bank Pounds Domiciliary 506-144-1050. Zenith Bank Euros Domiciliary 508-116-3307. For USA donors. Form 501C. 3. Tax-exempt ministry donations. Checks can be sent to 1118 Twisted Oak Court, Baldwin, Missouri 63021. USA contact phone +1 6366 278 Pastor Baba Joseph. Thanks so much, and God bless you for watching and listening.